Lately, I've been binging a lot of YouTube videos and movies nonstop.
How's a stick of deodorant gonna help? Spray on. Oh, yeah. Now
It's
I
gotten
see.
to a point where I would scroll for hours, but nothing seems interesting. Yet I still have to watch something. It's either gonna be another lame, time wasting video, or absolute blissful silence. So, what's it gonna be?
Thirsty. Frankenstein. I can keep going. Darth Vader. Just trying to reconnect with his son. And Freddy Krueger. Encouraging kids to dream. It's nice to see villains finally getting some respect. I mean, Disney's even made
What?
movies.
If I'm gonna be honest, I was actually gonna make this video in the new year because it's more fitting with the whole new year, new me crap. But homie, I need help now. I am very much aware that I am in desperate need of a dopamine detox. You see, this is not my first dopamine detox. I've been there before. I know for a fact that I'm gonna be super bored in the middle of the detox. The thought of getting bored is just super daunting and boring, which is why I had to formulate the game plan. I cannot see. I am so addicted that I cannot even go through my morning routine without having something, anything playing in the background. It's getting out of hand. 80% of my morning routine is basically me trying to find the right video or right music. And then when I did, I'd skip a lot because I'd get bored so easily. My morning routine could have been way, way shorter if I could just put my phone down, but I can't, which is why I need this. Okay, this slide right before you shows some of the apps or websites I'm addicted to most. This would be the first tier. Here we have YouTube. I've been a YouTube addict for over 10 years now. And any free movie streaming sites, paid or free. Yeah. This is the second tier. We have Pinterest and Spotify. I know. Yes, I'm well aware that this is not the actual Spotify logo, but this is the closest one Canva has. And as you can see, I'm using Canva free. Now, because I'm addicted to all these four horsemen, you would think that the best solution would be to just block all of these four apps or websites, correct? Wrong! Let me explain. If I only block these four, look, I'm smart, okay? And I'm addicted, I gotta admit. So if I only block these four, I can guarantee you, and you can even see it for yourself because I've already made a detox video before. I will find a loophole, okay? I can already see myself using Instagram or other related social media apps if I don't add it to my block list because I will use them as rebound apps, baby. In conclusion, I will block all social media that I have for this coming week, especially these four. Now, dopamine is not a bad thing. You actually need dopamine. So, activities that will replace the absence of social media that would be good for my dopamine are reading, playing puzzles, and etc. I can think of some leisurely activities later. All right. Oh, without being said, let the games begin. I'm going blind, I think. I am so not doing this anymore. Ugh. So, silaw. Oh, in case you're wondering, I'm using LeechBlock. That's a Chrome extension you can install on your computer. And for my phone, I use AppBlock. That one is free, but it's for Android. I'm pretty sure you can find the alternative if you're using iOS. Here's the problem though. I've actually already blocked YouTube months ago, but weeks later, I found a loophole. You know how Chrome has guest mode and you can't install extensions or website blockers in guest mode? Do you see where I'm getting at? I tried to Google how to get rid of guest mode, at least temporarily, but I didn't get it, so I have come up with a creative solution. Every time I open YouTube on guest mode, I have to send an awkward message to my friends or family in a group chat right away. This is gonna be embarrassing for me because I'm normally the silent leader of the group, which technically, in that context, I should be texting more. I don't know. You know what? Yeah, that sounds like a significant punishment. Hello, friends and fans. I'm currently reading Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport. I did not intend on picking this book because of this video, but this is a really nice coincidence. I thought I could get away with just watching the summary, but given that I can't watch anything right now and I have the book anyway, I thought I'd give it a read, and I'm glad I did because there are a lot of things that really changed my mind about my attitude towards using social media or phones in general. This may sound obvious, but not a lot of people think about this. The companies behind social media, obviously, if you have a business, you want it to run as long as possible, right? And the way for them to do that is for customers use their products as long as possible. And how do they do that? Addiction. So it appears that they studied what makes people addictive to gambling, especially, and they apply that in social media. So dopamine and a lot of things. I highly recommend you to read this book. I'm on chapter 4, and so far it talks about solitude and how important that is to us as human beings, but social media disrupts that, and we need to get it back. There are some statistics here that I find, oh, so kids born in 1995 and younger, it's called iGen. There is a reason why we are so used to having to have something playing in the background because we're so used to it from the preteens. We've been exposed to technology at such a young age, so we're very used to that. And that ruins our solitude, our need for solitude. And because we're not in solitude so much, that's exactly why our mental health is crap. Uh, Okay, so solitude means having the ability to think freely, right? Before iPod exists, people can do that all the time. And then when iPod exists, of course, now that you can listen to music anywhere, people don't wait in line in silence anymore. People don't walk around the streets in silence anymore. They have to have their earphones plugged in. And it's so scary. And right after I read that chapter, I immediately decided to meditate for 5 minutes. It gives me the ick now. And solitude doesn't always mean you have to go to a cabin in the woods alone for months on end. You can just go anywhere, be in a public space, and just people watching. Or just sit alone in your thoughts, not scrolling on your phone, or even have earphones plug in your ears. Just be alone with your thoughts. rest of the week has been pretty much the same because it's a work week. All I did was work, and in my free time, I read. But here's some other things I've been up to. I spent some time with my dogs. I got a new laptop. I almost had to send an awkward text message to the group chat. And I did the unthinkable. I had to sit with the boredom. As I've expected, it was hard at first, but I got used to it. Seriously, you should try it sometime. This kind of shot reminds me of Mr. Robot. I don't know. I thought it looked cool. What do you think? Comment. Throughout this detox, I noticed that my biggest problem is indecisiveness. I would waste so much time looking for something to watch. And if something takes so long for you to pick, it means you don't really want to do that, right? So anytime I'm on Spotify or Pinterest, YouTube, or movie streaming sites, I would set a timer for 5 minutes. And then I'd scroll to find a video or a song or a movie. And if the time is up and I picked nothing, haven't picked anything, then I'm out. And then I'll try again the next time of day. So, for example, if I don't find anything in the morning, I try again in the afternoon. Now, this one's especially for Spotify because I tend to skip songs a lot. I would only give myself 5 skips. If I skip songs 5 times straight, then I'd stop and then I'd try again at another time of day. Actually, no, I am using Spotify free, right? And you can only skip so much songs. So if I've used up all of my skip chances, then I'd stop and try again at another time of day. Okay, you might be thinking when you're watching, how are you gonna stop when you should stop? Good question. Like I said before, if I said it before, I set up app blockers and you can actually schedule what time for the websites to be blocked. And I'd pick meal times and at night from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. As for guest mode, I am not sure. Maybe I can still keep the rule thing. We'll see. We'll see. I hope this works. Fingers crossed. I forgot to mention, I found a loophole. Can you guess what it is? It's shopping apps, baby. I don't think I have problems with impulse shopping. I think I do have self control on that, mostly because of being broke. But I did shop last Sunday for stuff that I need, and that includes my laptop. I didn't think it was a big deal buying stuff in the middle of this detox, but you see, I bought this thing online, and this thing's fragile, right? Fragile, expensive. And because I bought it online, it's made me anxious. You know, what if it doesn't come to my house safely? What if it's dented and whatever? So I kept on checking my phone to track the shipping of this baby. By God's grace, it came to my doorstep safely. Thank goodness. But that's not really the reason why I got kind of hooked into this app. Here's the thing, I don't know about Amazon. I didn't shop there, but Shopee has this feature thing where you can create and view content pretty much like every other social media apps. So there are a bunch of reels in here. And because this is a shopping app, most of the reels are about products. Now, I did say that I don't have problems with impulse shopping, but I do love window shopping. So, do you see where I'm getting at? As soon as I realized that I started to use this as a rebound app, I put it down. I did not block this app because, again, I'm tracking my stuff. And I also created this little mini experiment where I would test myself if I can not use it out of my own free will. From that moment on, I did use it
a few times, so that's honestly pretty good, right? Also, I have finished reading Digital Minimalism. It's so good, highly recommended. It really dives deep into why we're so into it in the first place, why we're so attached to our phones, and how to use it more wisely. This is definitely not the kind of book that's all like, I don't care what you do for a living. I want you to be off the grid, get off those cell phones. You have to live, move in the forest, and be a monk. No, no. And there's this line that I'm going to read to you that explains, that pretty much summarizes the point of this book. Hold on, let me. I highlighted a lot of things. Anyway, digital minimalism definitely does not reject the innovations of the internet age, but instead rejects the way so many people currently engage with these tools. So good. Highly, highly recommended. Okie dokie. With that being said, it's time for me to reward myself.